Well, here we are on day 2, about halfway through segment 2, and it's 10:30, starting to heat up. I'm thinking I probably should have left, at 5 a.m. instead of 6:30, but the breeze is coming up, so that's nice. I've been through the fire area. That was pretty interesting. All of the just burnt trees. There's nothing there but scrub, kind of like you see here. Although here I think they were doing logging. You can see these piles of timber shavings, and I saw some trees that were marked with green ribbons. It said with a sign by them that said "Do not clear cut" or something. And well, now for me, I did a complete foot check last night. Put a little oil on my feet, did some massage work, and they were feeling pretty good. But then at the half-mile mark, coming up the switchbacks for the beginning of segment 2, sure enough, I felt something in my left big toe. And I thought, well, there's either a rock or something. So we got to the top of the switchback. Sure enough, big old blister. It just didn't even hurt. Didn't make itself known until on the trail. So we had to park it and put a plaster on it. And it's doing okay. I can feel it, but it's okay. And my body, however, is very interesting. Yesterday, I had, even despite the 90-degree heat and getting into, pretty long hike, I still felt really good, even at the end of the hike. But today, I feel kind of not exactly exhausted, but just tired. Uphills are really hard. I think my body is just, it's not used to all this manual labor. So, that just tells me I just need to take it easy, take lots of breaks, which I've been doing. So far, so good. I'm looking forward to get to mile 10. They've got some more fresh water, and we'll see how that goes. The other big news of the day is I went to retrieve my bear bag this morning, and it wasn't there. Couldn't find it. Searched all around, nothing. And the person that set up their tent next to me, Mason, who I've been leapfrogging throughout the trek so far, he also set his bear bag under the bridge after I put it under the Gutty Bridge and tied it right to the bridge. I thought that'd be stable. So he did the same thing. And so I found his bear bag and I brought it back to him and I said, "Hey, here's yours, but mine's gone." And we got to talking, and I figured, I know I did a good knot. If a bear tried to get at it, it should be hanging there, but not, no way he could have gotten it. But anyway, that was what I was thinking. So then we got to talking, and as it turns out, when I went to retrieve my bear bag, his bear bag was exactly where mine was. So when I brought it back to him and we were just sort of talking and I said that, he's like, "Oh, when I put my bear bag there, I didn't see yours. I just assumed you hung it on a different part of the bridge." And I'm like, "Oh my God." So I hung my bag at 5 o'clock. You hung yours at 6 o'clock and you didn't see mine. So bingo, we know that it wasn't a bear. It wasn't a raccoon. It was some of the locals. It wouldn't have been any of our fellow hikers. That's really just no. Because they understand what it means to take someone's food, in the middle of the backcountry. So, and I did see 3 teenagers riding their bike across the bridge just about the time I had finished hanging my bag. And I also saw this Jeep there must have been, 20-year-olds, 20-somethings. Jeep barreling down the gravel road, and these guys were hanging off the side, you know, standing on the wheel well, standing on the whatever that rail is that you step on to get into the car. They're just hanging on and going down the road 40 miles an hour. So, I mean, that tells me that the local wildlife here. Oh, let me pause for a second. Sure enough, there's a huge stand of trees there. You can see them cut on the left and to the right. So they must be doing some sort of, I don't know if they're clearing out vegetation or harvesting, or I'm not sure what. So anyway, that tells me that the local folk, they're probably not as respectful as we'd like. And I don't know what the hell they're going to do with 8 pounds of nuts and dried fruit. You know, that was my staple. I was going to keep this trip simple. Nuts and dried fruit, and have a protein shake for the morning. You know, milk-based. So, which is really the thing I miss, I think. I wanted that protein shake and my coffee. So yeah, I'm foodless. Mason was lovely enough to give me a couple of Ziplocs with his blend of fruits and nuts and a Laura bar. So that'll get me through at least 2 days. And I'm just going to have to, I got to check the map when I get into at the end of this segment. And there are towns that you can go in for resupply along the route here. As I was reading, none of them are great, but I'm just going to have to do that. Because I could survive 2 or 3 days, probably just fine. Got enough fat on my bones to get me through, but we'll definitely need food before we get to like section 5, and certainly for 6. That's the long 32 miler. Okay, so one look at the smiling hiker, and I think I probably should look a little worse for the wear today than I did yesterday. It was all nice and clean. Now, yesterday at the creek, we were by this creek, and I was definitely able to get in there and wash off all the sweat and rinse off my shirt. So it was lovely, but nevertheless, you know, no comb, no shower, no mirror, none of that out here. All right, that's all for now.